Hey, what's going on, YouTubers? God's Eagle Eyes, Chosen One, Gen X's. I just want to say happy Monday. Blessing to see you Monday. Another beautiful day. Another beautiful Monday. It's after 12 or going on 1. And the sun is out. It's warm in Carrollton, Georgia, an hour away from Atlanta. Today is the 3rd. And this is February. And as we always would normally say, it's Black History Month. But I really think every day, the whole year, we're making a legacy. And every year, the year, not month, is Black History Month because we still can honor the legends that are alive and gone every day. That's what helps us to keep moving forward, that if they can do it, so can we. So, on that positive note, I like to begin it like that. But, also, I'm Paula. Welcome to Mental Illness is Real. And like I've said before, this man is on his motorcycle. He enjoying his day, you know. Like I said before, we deal with mental health challenges every day, whether you diagnosed or not, or taking your medicine. I did take my medicine because I woke up this morning still in a funny feeling and, felt a little sorry for myself, but I had to snap out of it and do my praise walk after I freshen up. This is the month that my mother died. It's been 3 years. February the 18th, it will be 3 years. She was 86 and died of dementia. So, on this channel, I speak about my experiences of living with bipolar 2 disorder. I speak about grieving, and menopause, you know, midlife crisis. Men go through midlife crisis. We go through menopause. They both kind of seem the same because we in the mid of our lives. We are half a century. And I'll be 59 next month, the Lord's willing. I felt like today to speak about leave me alone. You know, I'm a loner and I don't like to be bothered at times. So this year, 2025, I took a mental health break. And what I mean, I volunteer as an advocate, which I still advocate for mental health. But when God brought me off, like the last video I did yesterday, God brought me off in 2022 from working with as a peer specialist to do different group activities with the peers from Georgia Regional and Atlanta. So this was in Decatur. So I was in Lithonia at the time, and I was there about a good 8 months, 9, and I enjoy it because we as a staff could tell them something. We was also diagnosed, and we could be able to understand what they're going through, some of them, but most of the times. So my recovery story is suicidal and homelessness. Okay. As an only child, I've always been a loner. I have no problem with that. And I, I do get lonely. Yes. I can just pick up the phone, talk to my family, my children, or something like that. But there are some people in my family I don't deal with anymore. I don't deal with certain people I grew up with anymore. Some people God just took out of my life, and but I just came back from you know uh counseling for mental health with a client of mine. She don't stay far. So I do it in person if they, close by, or we do it on Zoom. So that's my livelihood. I live under my means, but thank God I still have people that uh, invest in what I do, dealing with mental health, and they, they just invest in it, and I'm grateful. And whoever want to bless it, that's fine. So God just he's he's already paid us in full. Excuse me. And we just have to take it from there by faith. As chosen ones, yes. We all are going through something. I'm going through something. You know, I like to take, it's God in me first, and I like to take care of my responsibilities. But when I get the little few bills I got and whatever I owe, I just throw it to the side, pray for it, pray for, because, that's the only thing I work with, that income and everything. So I have to really be careful with what I make and live below my means, which I don't have any problem, because I've had everything that I would love to have. I've had houses and, like I've said before, cars and everything. That main thing is my peace. And I want to be left alone at times. Now, it's no problem if people DM me and want to be do a session. Um, I've been doing this for years, and it just grew more into mental health, because I had been licensed and everything over 20 some years dealing with spiritual counseling. So now it's just mental health is in it. That's all. And I do have to take a mental health break at times and just use my time now for me. And I like I said, when God brought me out the job, uh, which is my career and purpose, I got more into my purpose doing 24/7 counseling, 24/7 mental health counseling. Oh, and boy, some really took advantage of that. And when they did, God moved them on because they started taking it for granted. So God said, this year, take a mental health break, and then we'll just work on, your livelihood, so you'll be able to have income. And that's, my only income. And thank God, everything else gets paid, but still I have to just be careful. Um, some of us will realize that there are some fake people out there. And I also know a lot of them deal with mental health challenges. I have someone I've been knowing that is lives in New York and have family in Atlanta. And when they come in to visit, their children take them around, and that's good. But when they are at work, they can only travel by bus or what have you. Well, out here in Carrollton, there isn't no bus, and it's expensive, to get a Uber if you can or whatever. But one, I think last year it was nice that we did a one holiday together, and I used to couldn't really get along too good with holidays because I lost my grandparents during the holiday. My dad death was December the 6th. He died when I was 5. I remember him, and all of this, and I didn't care about it. But now I look forward to it. I enjoy it, but I spend it alone because I enjoy just eating, getting whatever I want to get and eat. It don't have to be turkey. It don't have to be the Thanksgiving meal thing or the Christmas meal. If I want just Burger King or fix me something, that's what I'm going to have. And look at movies. It's exciting to me. Things are slower, you know. So when she comes into town, she spends a lot of money, and that's her money, whatever she want to do. Okay. But every time you step foot out this door, you got gas you got to deal with, which no problem. They take care of all of that. But the last time I went out with them to a club, and I hadn't been there in years. I haven't even been in a club for a year. And I would say I would rather be in a lounge. That would be cool. But now, even lounges, you know, so when you get to be around family members, other than your children, when you talking about different stuff and you want to talk about positive things, but then you still talk about the past or what you're going through, you know. But when you talk to people that you've known for a while and you be around them and so-called, certain cousins and stuff, it's always about somebody else, or we don't even have no conversation. I had a so-called friend talked about me right in my face. They'd be in the next room. And she got mad because one year I wouldn't come to none of her whatever she have at the house. You know, people just do things for certain reason. And you want me to come, but you treat me like shit when I get there. You want to talk about me. You want to feed us, but if we hungry and eat, you still talk about that. So I'm like, well, damn, you catching a two, 222 or something, whatever you call it. So as her even have mental illness, she and her siblings talk about everybody, make fun of them and everything. And sometimes it's funny, and we'll make fun of ourselves in front of us. But when you get into those toxic stuff, every time you talk, they still mad and talking about whatever happened 20 years ago. Now, I do admit that when I get with my children, I talk about certain things that I need to talk about for them to know that, well, as they say, come from the horse's mouth. But this person, they talk among each other, the siblings, and they talk about all this stuff about their mom and all this stuff about. And then when you get with me, it's still the same thing. And when they at the house, and no, I don't mean to step on nobody's toes because I'm no better than nobody else. They do all of this drinking all day from morning until they go to bed. And when they out, they drinking, blah, blah, blah. And that's not what I do. They always, well, the New Yorkers, no stepping, I don't want to, step on nobody's toes. But New Yorkers, they are used to always going. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm a laid back person because every time you step foot out of the door, like now, I had to get some gas. I had to spend money to get, some things or whatever I wanted to get some snacks so I can go back home. This is my outing. Get out, do what I got to do, speak to people, enjoy the sun. It may be boring to anybody else, but I don't give a darn. Okay, so I enjoy it, and I'm ready to get back home. I don't want to be bothered with nobody. Leave me alone. There was a man that I thought I heard a fly or a bug or something, but I carry one in my truck. Um so I just want to be left alone. When she came last time, I spent the night at the daughter's place. But let me tell you something. Ever since I've known this person, they always, now over the years we have a life that we've gone through, and we have missed out on our children, and some of us didn't get to raise them, all the way. But at the beginning, but then later on, some things happen. Now, goes to me and anybody else. The time that has been lost, or if he was working, or if they was in rehab or whatever, anything, mental illness, whatever you going through, and you couldn't take care of the kids, and somebody else did, which was a blessing. And now they're older, and y'all can spend time together. You cannot make up that time. So why are you trying to be the best? Of course, it's all right for you to be the best person, grandparent, or whatever for you. But I call it a rat race, because it seems like ever since we was growing up, they were going through things, but it always seems like uh, I did a phase on that there are some people that is low key in competition with you, and it seems like they sorry they if they are not doing well, they siblings, they talk about what they siblings got, what they parents got, and all of that stuff. And I don't want to you don't want to hear that all the time. And every time you talking to them, they showing pictures, like even on Facebook. Every day is some kind of, how folks do on Facebook, like they living a glamorous life, you know. But yet they are toxic as hell. It's always something. It's something. But you get on Facebook and you put all these pictures, where you been, what you doing, what you went, and she's already sent some pictures for me to see this time, because I'd have missed the other ones, because I really had them blocked. But when she left a message, the Lord said, just go on and speak to him. I said, okay. So if she would have sent any more pictures of her sibling, I'm going to say, please, no more pictures this year. Don't send me no Facebook links or nothing, because I'm not part of it. I closed down my Instagram and all the other mess. I'm just with TikTok and YouTube, because I enjoy putting out content that I have people that are actually interested of what I'm saying. And true enough, I get tired of YouTube. I have to take a break, because YouTube is in control. And so I just get on here because I enjoy. I am a global speaker. This is where God got me practicing and really speaking to people that really needs this, because all of this is mental. I speak of mental health challenges. Mental illness is real. So I leave me alone. I end up not calling her back. She was still here in January, because she's crazy about Christmas. Nothing wrong with that. Got her grandchildren stuff. Then that's another thing. I notice in certain age areas, when you're a teenager, when you're a little girl, some people got more Barbadars than you, or more toys. Then when you get in high school, people are wearing name brand stuff, and then at the end, they are getting cars. Then after they graduate, they go into college. So it's always some kind of comparison. Some people compare, and I was like that. Compare. And a lot of people, they would go to college and they do this and do that, and it seemed like I just couldn't get it together. And I felt sorry for myself. But the thing was, I didn't want to do it. My uncle then would have sent me to college, which I didn't know. It said if I would have stood up, doing graduation said I wanted to go to college, they were gonna send me to college. But why? Why would I say, yeah, I want to go to college and that be a waste of time? For what? My mother, it was her first time on her own after my grandparents died. See, they believed in marrying out, and my mom did that. All the rest of her siblings did that. They married out the house and moved to different cities. My mother stayed right there because of her mother. I understand it. I get it. But when my grandparents died, that was her first time on her own, and I didn't realize that until a couple of years ago. You know, basically, I believe after she died, because Carrollton really gave me a sense of peace and grieving space. I had been ready to leave Atlanta since 18. No disrespect, born and raised in Atlanta. I done lived all over Atlanta. My grandparents had a house. My grandfather was a Baptist reverend, so we stayed in the house on Bankhead. Like I said, I lived all over, and was born at Grady. So my grandma was born at Grady, and my firstborn was born at Grady, my 37-year-old son. So we have grandkids now. So now it's like the grandkids. What we doing for the grandkids? First is our children, what our children doing, and what our grandkids are doing. And it really, leave me alone with that. Miss me with that. That makes me sick. We could talk about it one time. Oh, that's great. Wonderful. Then you come back and you talk about it, and then you want to show you just with your grandkids. No, right? Okay. I don't get to see my grandkids every day. They don't get to either. They get to, do it twice a year, I guess. And I'm happy. But who cares? Who cares? Who cares? So this video is about, leave me alone. I don't want to be bothered with that. And if I show what my children doing, oh, okay, good, that's nice. And you know they ain't happy for you. When I first went out the country, I told my cousin I thought she would be happy for me. I said, look, I went out because she's always going out of town on cruises, and she, always drinking something. And she just cut me off so fast when I said I went. And she, oh yeah, I'm getting ready to go to so and so now. And I showed some pictures and they ain't heard nothing else. I said, screw her. I ain't talked to her since. And it's been a year now. It's been a year. They taking care of their mom, and like she's more gone and letting her brother take care more than anything. And another thing, I'm on their father's side, and they look down more on their father's side. So what do you think what do you think they think about me? I'm just tired. I'm done with trying to be family to people that don't want to be family to you. Dad was my first cousin, and my second cousin. And then he got married and never introduced me to his wife. I said, oh, okay. I see. And we used to play together. I spent the night. We would go to church together. And stuff like that hurts. Then I had another cousin fell out with me to his wife, said, you don't need to be like that, because I wouldn't tell him that he had a brother that his dad had children all over the world. He was some hoe. My uncle, my mama brother. He got children there. Well, hell, I don't know. And he got married with me and my mom when she was, alive, saying why I didn't tell him. Hell, I didn't know. And it wasn't our damn place to tell that you had a brother or whatever. We found out, but we were going to let him tell him. Then my uncle died and left all that mess on us. So me and him never been really straight cool after that. We used to play together. And he 6 years older than me. He in his 60s. So he don't call me as often and never, wish me a happy new year and stuff. And I said, the hell with him too. When I told him I went out the country, when I finally, talked with him last year, I'm the one that always was reaching out. He was like, oh, well, how you, when, how, all these questions. But then when I call you, you say, yeah, we just left Murder Breach, or we left this, part of it. And I don't know where in the world they would be talking about. I said, oh, okay, wonderful. Some people think they the only one can do all of this. Some people are too, how can I put it? They think they the only one can do things and you can't. And it's another, some people, what I want to say, they're too, oh God, what is that word? With their children. Obsessed. It's just some people just too obsessed with their children. And I don't mean that where, I'm just coming right out and say it. It's okay to be close. I guess because I just came out. Raising mines, it was just different. So, but some people seem like they're just too obsessed. Let these children live their life, become young women, become young men. Now, if they want to help you with something and everything, that's wonderful. It's beautiful that the children, somebody's helping you. We need help as we get older. We definitely do. And if they want to and don't have them, don't mind, that's wonderful. But some has a motive behind it where they want to only their mom spend or they parents to spend all the money on them, even though they got siblings and the siblings got children, which is the grandchildren, and the other sibling don't. So they'll get mad if the parents will spend money on the other sibling that got children. They get mad. They want all the money spent on them, and they don't have any children. That's just, and you trying to please both of them. I think they're just really obsessed. It's crazy. So my thing is, leave me alone. I'm not going to deal with you anymore. I give people their space, and when they come in town, I don't want to be bothered because we have nothing to talk about. And while we talking, your children, your child, your daughter is always on the phone calling you while you are, visiting someone else, and you're talking to them and leaving the phone open. They hearing our conversation. She's still, or he still a adult child under us. They don't need to know everything we talking about. So I don't enjoy your company. I don't want where it's just you and you, I and the rest of the family of people. And sometimes I don't mind going out with family. And then some people, they always go out, which is no problem, especially if you have to use a cane or a walker or whatever. You need people with you. But some people seem like they just can't move without anybody being with them. They may in their hometown, they get on the bus and go to the store and come on back. I understand. But when they out visiting, people, when they come in town, I understand that. So it is what it is. It is it's but I'm not gonna sit here and envy because of that. I just don't have to put myself in that circle. Every now and then, I love to be with you and your family because I know them too. But I don't want to be with narcissists and people like that. It's all about them, and they, oh my God. One of them didn't even say, I give my condolences to your mom, and they knew my mom. And it still stick right here. And I said, Lord, please let me forgive. And I wanted to tell her so bad. I said, your sister never did say give condolences to my mom. And she knows her. And they had a sibling that died. And I gave all my condolences to them. And here it is. It's about when siblings have parents to die. It's like, where is the care about missing your parent? Even though you didn't get along, but you made it right before they died. Well, my daughter or my son or somebody, they're going to get the house. Well, then she have more than one grandchild. Why is your daughter or son getting the house? Who cares? Okay, but when you get a house, that's a big responsibility. Are you going to be able to still take care of it? I know you're going to put your money in. So when you come from out of town, from New York back to Atlanta, then you have somewhere to stay. You know, but they're into money. People are just into money too much and material stuff. Leave me alone. I don't want to hear it. If you come here and I don't know you here, that's fine, because I don't want to be bothered. I have to deal with, I got a transmission to be rebuilt, but thank God. And it's been needing that for over a year. Thank God that I could still put it in gear and drive to the store and back. I don't feel like going back and forth to Atlanta. Sometimes I do it to go see my children and grandchildren. I don't even feel like driving all the way an hour. I don't feel that anymore. When I moved, I was working in Lithonia, which at the time I was living in Lithonia, renting a room after I was homeless, lived in my truck off and on for 3 years. I worked 20 minutes from where I lived. So when I got my senior living apartment in Carrollton, which I had been waiting for a while, I put in my 2 weeks notice. I drove for 2 weeks back and forth from work. I went on, put on my 2 weeks notice because I had to move, and I didn't see myself driving every day and putting all that on my truck when it still needed work. Still got to save up money and price. I've been researching for a whole year, and you know they don't get right to your truck, your vehicle. So, and I understand the Chevrolets, they always the Silverados have problem with their transmission. So, but every man-made vehicle got some kind of problem. I just got what I like. That was my 50th present to me. Because I've been through so much, just like everybody else. I ain't been on no job 30 years and all that, but it's just whatever your purpose was, whatever you dealt with. You know, I'm going to be 59 next month and soon be 60. And I'm going to live a peaceful, happy life. You know, just leave me alone. Miss me with that mess, you know? People always talking about people. You go on, I had a job driving the shuttle bus. I really enjoyed that. I got to minister to people on one of the routes. I learned all the routes, and then I took over the routes that people didn't like, or they just didn't have that person. And I come in. Oh wow. I really enjoyed it because I was able to talk with people who just got out of jail and all of that stuff. It was a ministry, you know, and I wasn't scared. I just enjoyed it. I really did. I really did. But a man was looking at me when I was at the gas station over there. I seen it when I passed by. He was in a truck, pickup truck as well. When I came back out, he was like, "Hey, how you?" I said, "Hey, how are you doing?" Very, very nice. And I hurried up, and got over there to my truck to get my gas, and got on out of there. I just, my walls are up. I don't know how to love anyone anymore. I mean, it's so much games until God really, if it was really God, if it was a man that God put me with, then it wouldn't been so easy for me to get away. But I got the hell on, unless we run into each other again. That was my first time seeing him. But people say, oh, they do things in your building. It's only two buildings, in your senior living building and the apartments and stuff, independent living. Because my mom stayed in one over 20 years, and I loved it. She was all the way on the 11th floor in Greenbrier, Atlanta. But we only got 3 floors, and I'm at the bottom. Thank God. And and I was telling someone, I said, yeah, they be having bingo and all this. Do you go and do that? No, I don't want to be bothered. When I found out, my mom told me how people were in her building and how older people were. I'm thinking they were like my grandparents. Either they were minding their own business or on the porch, rocking chair porch and just looking out, getting air. The stuff that my mom said when they were as seniors as senior citizens, I thought you left that when you was in your 20s, 30s, and 40s and 50s. I couldn't believe the stuff she said, the way them folks acted in 60, 70, and 80. They fight. They get stupid over men. The men still a player. The women still this and that. And I'm like, oh my God. Boy, I could tell you some stories. That's crazy. Well, y'all, I didn't mean to hold you this long, 36 minutes. I care about you all. And I got over 500 something videos, 75 subscribers. I thank God for you all. And the views, it's whatever it is. But I enjoy it because God is planning. He's got my purpose. I'll be global speaking and giving my recovery story. And everybody got some kind of story. So nobody can get mad and jealous of each other, of us going around telling our story. And I won't be book to book, back to back with all that, because I don't want to be doing all that, getting the bag, working day and night kind of thing. I'm not doing that. Now, to each his own. You do that, fine. I'm not doing it. I'm enjoying my life the way it is. I'm able to see and have time with life, my family, my children, or some friends, or peers that I still talk with, and my clients. So you'll never see me at my client because that's confidential. But yeah, so I have about 3 clients a week. I have but I give God the praise. I speak also other things in existence, you know, and I counsel about mental health challenges. We need that therapy. Now, I'm not a therapist, so I just do the Christian counseling part, just deal with my abstract art with some of the mental health challenges to the peers that pay for the sessions, either Zoom, phone, or in person if they right here in the area. So we have to be careful out here. Don't just put yourself in circle just to be networking, just to be out, and it's not healthy. All of this deals with mental. Do not be around something unhealthy, because it's not good for your mental, your mind. And that's what I'm very aware of. I say hi to people and keep it moving. I'm not trying to make no new friend, new this, and just have associates that I deal with business with. Because people, they mindset or they mind is, and I'm meeting people that also has what I got, live with bipolar 2 disorder. There's nothing to feel sorry about. It's the way you handle it. And yes, I need my therapy. I need my therapy every week, and I'm also just not getting into this support group, a women's support group of is the stigma against mental illness. Okay, because people look at you a certain way when you say it, when you say what you got or what you're dealing with. But that's okay. That's why I say leave me alone. I don't feel like being around you anyway. I don't want to be bothered with your stank toxicness and monitoring spirits. This right here is not for everybody. You know, some people are monitoring, some people make fake accounts that knows you are just strollers or whatever you want to call them. They're just monitoring spirits. That's fine. I hope they learn something. But just remember, you're God's eagle eyes. You go for what God has for you, and nobody don't want to wait. But this is a waiting. It's a process, and yes, it's not easy. It's not easy, but we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. Jesus love you. I love you. I'm grateful. That's the only thing that's keeping me on YouTube, whether I get paid or not. God is, uh, working out things, and you just can't be on here for the money because things are set up to do whatever it's gonna do. Y'all have a good evening.